Buongiorno everyone. The day after that devastating defeat to Arsenal, the 4-0 in the second half, and we didn't have time to do these player ratings. We were that busy, that amount of fan cams and the match reaction, and it takes a lot of time up. And then we had a train to catch, 9 o'clock train, and just after that shit show of the second half. First half thought were very good, but we'll get into the player ratings now. Martin Dubravka, 4. I thought players aren't object to criticism. The amount of times we praised Dubravka, he deserves to be criticised when he hasn't done well, and yesterday he didn't do well. Let's face it, the third goal he's got to do a lot better. And most of the goals, to be fair, he's got to do a lot more. It doesn't help his defence is falling to pieces, especially for the third and fourth. There's no one anywhere to help him, but at the end of the day, I think he should have done his job better. Valentino Lazaro, who made his debut for Newcastle, his first start at right wing back, he looked class in the first half. He looked absolutely brilliant. He had 35 touches. He was doing a lot going forward. He looks like he's a winger, though, doesn't he? He looks like he's a winger, not a wing back, not a right back. So he got done out time and time again. Xhaka was giving him nightmares. That nutmeg, he got done by a young and all night long. He did, Lazaro, but I think he's definitely more influential going forward. But it's his first start in English football and against one of the best teams, supposedly, obviously not this year, but at the Emirates. Arsenal got some top class players. It was never going to be an easy day for him. Great first half like the rest of the team. Shit, second half, caught out defensively. 5. Captain Lascelles, worst player yesterday for me. Awful. Seemed to throwing the towel after about 35 minutes. Couldn't be arsed. Got caught out time and time again. Very, very poor shift from Lascelles, who's very highly thought of from the Gunners and their fans. Linked with them in the past as well. Maybe that's why. But very bad day at the offense for the captain. 2. Federico Fernandez looked a bit disjointed, to be honest with you, and I think he was, when Lejeune and Shaw off it, but Shaw as well looked hopeless when he came on, to be honest. But you'd expect them to come back in. Or Kieran Clark, now that he's knackered, he's injured. We'll get on to him. We'll do them both actually. Clark and Fernandez can have 4s each. If Clark went off the ground with crutches as well, so he looks like he's knackered his ankle. Fernandez was took off as part of a reshuffle. But again, I think Shaw and Lejeune, we need to get them firing and fit, because as steady and as brilliant at times, especially Fernandez, to be fair, right winger, remember, especially with some of his balls into the box and he's darting runs forward, he's been very good. Shaw and Lejeune, let's face it, on paper at least, are our best defenders. Even though I do like Kieran Clark as well, he's very steady, very reliable, bit of an unsung hero, but them two to come back, Shaw and Lejeune, because I don't think Clark and Fernandez had a great game yesterday either. You've got to point out as well, actually, Kieran Clark's miss. Great chance at 2-0 for him to put that in the back of the net. It goes out for a corner. He's got to score from there. I still haven't actually seen the replay. It's just what people are telling us, what we could see from the opposite end in the Emirates. But not the best person to fault. It really is a chance. Kieran Clark, your centre back, unless it's on his bonds. That one went wide, and the chances of getting a result pretty much went from then, after seeing him at the post after as well. Danny Rose, ex-Spurs player, came in and he looked absolutely paggered after about 10 minutes. He'd be on the fish and chips in this winter break, I think. You need to get him back to fitness, because I think you can see on the ball there's a player there. He got stuck in a couple of times, but there was moments where St. Maximin was making the run. There was a chance for him to overlap. He wouldn't go past the fucking halfway line. He was like, nah, I can't. Not today. Can't be arsed that. Understandable in a way. He hasn't played a game in about 8 months. But I think obviously we'll hopefully see the true Danny Rose come out week in, week out. The further we get, the fitness he can get up, and his performances will hopefully come back to match. We won't go into the whole train debacle as well with him. Obviously, he's meant to be getting an altercation with fans. I'm sure you've seen that on social media. Bentaleb, ex-Spurs player again, back in North London, and I thought he was poor, wasn't he? I mean, are we going to see the best of Bentaleb? Because in that deep line role, he was never really picking out a pass, but we don't play that kind of football where it allows him to probably play his suited role. But I think Shelby obviously would have done a better job than that. He gets the position, he puts it away, but he's just not doing enough. He gets found out as well in the area in the middle of the park, and he didn't look good yesterday, mind. He was getting a lot of stick on Twitter, a lot, and he needs to start performing, because he started every game since we signed him and he hasn't looked up to scratch. 4 out of 10 there. Sean Longstaff, he can have another 4. I thought he started brightly, to be honest, positive. Obviously we nearly got that deflected shot that Leno tipped wide. That would have been nice to see that nest in the corner, but obviously the two never get that kind of look. Sean, I think you can definitely see his preferred role is going forward. It's more further forward, like it was at Oxford. And he tried to whip in a David Beckham free kick as well, didn't you? Remember that one going flying over the bar? Second half, he disappeared like the rest of the lads. Miguel Miron, I give him a 5. I thought he makes some long busting runs. He's down at the defence. He comes to the edge of the area. There's probably no one to pass to most of the time. But then he just falls over. He gets fouled. And it's just like, take a shot. Wait for someone to make a run. Oh, head up. Have a look first. Try and think of what you're going to do next. He just runs and runs. Gets to the point and then he gets fouled. Or he just trips over the ball. It's frustrating at times because he's an asset going forward. He's threatening. He's dangerous on the break. There's just not enough end product there. St. Maximin, I thought was class. In terms of frustration as well, with his end product, but he puts that ball in the box with Joe. It's probably a little bit behind Joe. Should he have done better? Probably, but it is a bit behind him. But Saint, again, was getting into dangerous areas, and Joe Linton wasn't gambling to get into the box. That was so annoying, man, because it's there for the taking. Saint was having to go his own sometimes. He was very unlucky hitting the post, I thought. I think if that goes in, it's a game changer. He had some very good spells. Again, a few too many tricks at times, but he was very dangerous and he was probably our man of the match, I'd say. St. Maximin have a 6. On to then Joe Linton. The first point is that he's not making the runs. How many times when you say he's not number 9, he's not getting into the box enough, he's not gambling enough, he's hovering around the edge. Even Brucey came out in the press conference afterwards and says he's more of a right forward, a left forward, he's played there before. What the fuck are you playing there as a number 9 for? I know we haven't got many options. Just change the formation, don't put him as the focal point. Do you know what I mean? Play a fucking Barcelona false 9. Do something, Bruce. Do you know what I mean? Because we can't. What can you expect from the lad? He was getting played out of position. I thought his hold-up play was excellent yesterday. I really did. He was getting a lot of praise in the first half from our end, in the away section, and he was busting a gut as well. He covered a lot of ground yesterday, and he was getting stuck in as well. So it was good to see. But the second half didn't do anything, just like the rest of the boys. But first half, he's got to gamble more. He's got to get into those areas more. He's got to be in and around the box a lot more. Not in and around, actually, right in the fucking middle of it, please. In a 6-yard box. But he did his job that he could yesterday, apart from the one where he should have maybe tucked it away, but it is a bit behind him at the front post. And again, just getting on the end of things, making sure you're right in the right position at the right time. But in terms of holding the ball up and grafting, you can have a 6. Won't go into the subs, but that's the player ratings. That's just a quick one this week. Since, like I say, we're in a rush yesterday outside the Emirates. There's loads of other videos on the channel. Make sure you check them out. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. And enjoy yourself.